Hi remote students. I want to take a few minutes to summarize our class today. We talked about how to write a conclusion and we talked about the rubric for this paper. So I have attached a document that looks like this, writing a conclusion, and I just want to briefly review it for you. It's mainly for you to read. But this conclusion for this particular type of paper needs to have three elements, and the first thing is that you're going to paraphrase your thesis. Unlike your intro, where your thesis was the last sentence in the paragraph, in the conclusion, your thesis will be the first paragraph. And you're going to want to precede it with some type of transitional device that tells the reader, hey, you're almost finished reading my paper. So something like, in conclusion, without a doubt, finally. So you have an example there. Hold on just a minute. Okay. From Laura Ingalls Wilder's. The second thing I'd like for you to do is this is the place to put any closing information about a person's life. So maybe they died tragically or prematurely. Maybe their life took a different direction after they retired, but basically you're just going to add any information about their final years or about the circumstances or timing of their death. And you can see what I wrote there about Laura Ingalls Wilder. And finally, the last sentence or two should be the legacy. Just an emphasis on the legacy. You've already stated what it is, but you want something, inspiring of like, this is why they are still remembered or why we should remember them. And if you had a quote that didn't fit anywhere else in your paper, this might be a good place to use it. So, so that's it. You're going to paraphrase your thesis. You are going to provide closing information about their life, and then one or two sentences about legacy. I also want to talk for a minute about the rubric, and hold on. I talked about this on the Zoom class, but then we got cut off. So let me just say a couple of things. You have a 2-page rubric, and the first draft is what you're looking at. And since I posted this on the original assignment, I have added one more thing, which is you need to include your revised outline. So I'm going to want you to upload your revised outline, your first or rough draft, and then a copy of this rubric. Those will be the three things that you turn in on Friday. And I think this is all pretty self-explanatory. I want to talk through a couple of things. I think that you guys know what a clincher is. Look under structure. That's kind of a final sentence in each paragraph. I am opting not to talk too much about that because I want to tie that together with some teaching on transitions. So for this first draft, if you would just make sure that you have a clincher that summarizes the paragraph. Your clincher, I will tell you, your clincher might also transition you to the next paragraph. So for example, at the end of challenges, you might say, despite the numerous challenges she encountered in her childhood, she went on to accomplish amazing things in her, she went on to become an accomplished musician. So that could be something that transitions to the next paragraph. So paragraph 5, which is your paraphrase thesis, summary of points, that's end of life, and then significance, that's just ending with the legacy. I do want to point out on style that I'm expecting you to highlight these elements in the margin. And again, please don't use dark. I'm actually printing your papers up, so some of you have these beautiful color-coded dark purple equals compound and fuchsia equals complex. I can't see them. So if you can just keep it light, and of course put your put a key or something at the end of that so I can see what the colors stand for. So variety of sentence openers. You only need one of each. One adverbial, which is an ly opener, one participle, which is an ing. And my last class brought up that Mrs. Smith really emphasized for you all that a participle needs to be an adjective. It can't be a gerund. And because we're not going to cover participles until we come back from Christmas, at this point, if you just have an ing word, a participle is an ing word that acts as an adjective. You have that definition, but we haven't really unpacked that. So, but you want one participle opener. So, signing the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson became both author and signer. Prepositional opener starts with a preposition, and then subordinating conjunction, that's your WW Asia B. But we know there's more than that serve as subordinating conjunctions. And then I put the numbers in there: 2 compound complex, 2 compound complex, 2 VSS. And then you see the mechanics and grammar. I want to spotlight where it says correct use of verb tenses. You are almost entirely writing in simple past. Now, when you make your observation that, in my case, Laura Ingalls Wilder is an important American, I'm making that observation today in the present, so I'm saying is. But then when I say because she overcame many challenges, then I'm talking about her life. So that's really where the simple past starts, but I do want to point out that the past perfect, if you have 2 events and one comes before the other, and you don't have the word before or after the sentence, you would use past perfect. And past progressive, just ignore that right now. I'll talk about that in your final paper. Pronouns have clear antecedents. We have not done participles yet, so that's just going to be freebie points for you. You know about complete sentences. Okay, you need a works cited page, and I'm going to repost the handout I have on works cited and also a link to OWL Purdue. You have done works cited. You've done one for me with the mask paper. You have done one for Mr. Willoughby with Bronze Bow, and you have done one for Mrs. West with Consumer Fair. So hopefully this is becoming familiar to you. Attaching your checklist, and then your revised outline needs to be attached, okay? So this is going to be due on Friday, and I think I'm just going to change. It's due by midnight. Okay, I hope you don't put it off. Get it done. But as long as you have it in some day on Friday, if it comes in after Friday, then you get 10% off for every day it's late. So 7 points off for Saturday, 14 for Sunday, and so on. Okay, I feel like we have lots and lots of balls in the air. I hope you're following the checklist, and I hope you do well on the Jerry quiz tomorrow. Bye-bye.